Bonjour tout le monde. Hello, everybody. And first, let me wish everyone a very, very happy Black History Month. Je veux souhaiter tout le monde un excellent mois de l'histoire des Noirs. This is a very exciting time for me, for the Black community, for the Black diaspora here in Canada and around the world. We hope that you will all find ways to celebrate, to learn more about the history of Black people in this country and in other countries as well, to celebrate our accomplishments and the ways that we have contributed to every single part of life in this country. As we celebrate, of course, it's important for us to remember while we acknowledge how far we've come, we still know that we have a long way to go. And there is no question that Black Canadians continue to experience a disproportionate amount of systemic discrimination, a disproportionate amount of poor outcomes, whether it's with respect to health, education, employment, housing, that this is a country that still has to reckon with its own legacy of slavery, and slavery was not abolished until 1834 in this country. And so these are the ongoing legacies that our community continues to have to cope with. And it is very important that we remember that and that we continue to fight for a more just society. Two concrete things that can be done. First, we have called, and Paul Manley, our MP for Nanaimo Ladysmith, supported a petition calling for the recognition of August 1st as Emancipation Day. This is the day that slavery was abolished in the territories that came to be known as Canada. And this, of course, slavery was something that both Black and Indigenous peoples suffered under during the era of colonialism and during the era of the transatlantic slave trade. And so this is a recognition that is long overdue. We know that there is a bill that is winding its way through the House, and I hope that it will receive unanimous consent from all parties. We also call upon the government of Canada to really not so much increase its efforts, but actually commit to respecting the United Nations Working Group on Peoples of African Descent recommendations on how to dismantle systemic racism and anti-Black racism in Canada. Alors, dans ce mois, c'est une excellente opportunité de célébrer les accomplissements des peuples noirs ici au Canada, qui ont touché tous les domaines, tous les aspects de notre vie ici dans notre pays. C'est aussi le mois de reconnaître il reste beaucoup de travail à faire. On sait que pendant la pandémie, que les communautés noires partout au pays ont été fortement touchées, fortement affectées par le virus dans une manière disproportionnée. On sait que les peuples noirs au Canada continuent de souffrir sous le racisme systémique, le racisme anti-noir qui affecte leur vie en ce qui concerne l'éducation, l'environnement, leur santé, leurs emplois, leur logement. Alors, il faut continuer à lutter contre ça. Et j'ai deux recommandations concrètes. Un, c'est de reconnaître le jour d'émancipation, le jour où nous avons les territoires qu'on connaît maintenant comme le Canada, on abolit l'esclavage des peuples noirs, mais aussi les peuples autochtones ici au Canada. C'est très important de reconnaître que nous aussi, nous avons notre propre histoire d'esclavage. Et deuxièmement, de vraiment faire une vraie action vers la réalisation des recommandations des Nations Unies, du groupe de travail des Nations Unies sur les peuples de descendance africaine pour démonter le racisme systémique. And so I also wanted to bring your attention today to, of course, the ongoing COVID pandemic that is continuing to keep Canada in its grips. And two things in particular. First, our party has noted that the intention is to bring in new travel restrictions. We have all heard about those, and our message is very simple. If travel restrictions are going to be put in place, they must be fair and they must be based in science. We cannot have different classes of citizens in Canada with different rules that are not based in any logic, that are not based in science, and do nothing to protect people in Canada. And so we are looking forward to seeing more information from the government about why some sun destinations have been put on the list in terms of no travel and travel restrictions, while some have been kept off. We don't want to have, again, any situation where people in Canada are being treated differently if it is not based in science and with respect to COVID. We also want to draw your attention to the Green Party caucus and their request for an emergency debate on the new COVID variants that are circulating in our community. We know that there are at least 3 new variants of the original COVID strain that are circulating now. The virus has mutated. As we understand it, these mutations are far more transmissible. These mutations are potentially far more deadly. And so we know that we are at, again, another critical tipping point, particularly as vaccine distribution has slowed down and will continue to be slower than expected for the next while. And so we are asking for that debate to talk about what needs to be done, because that is the question that every single parliamentarian should be asking themselves every single day in the context of their work. What needs to be done today to protect more people in Canada? And we hope that the result of this debate will be a truly unified, coordinated approach. We continue to call for an intergovernmental task force to produce that unified, national, coordinated strategy as they have in the United States for the same reasons. There is the recognition that a national pandemic requires a national strategy. And we are becoming more and more an outlier amongst our international peers in terms of our resistance to that strategy. And so, alors en français, on veut souligner encore notre appel pour la création d'un groupe de travail de réponse rapide pour coordonner une réponse nationale et unifiée sur le COVID, surtout en face des trois nouvelles variantes du COVID. Il y a 3 nouvelles variantes qui circulent dans nos communautés. On sait que c'est beaucoup plus transmissible, c'est possible que c'est beaucoup plus fatal, et on veut assurer que notre Parlement a considéré qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire pour assurer que les gens au Canada sont protégés. Ça doit être la question que les députés se demandent chaque jour. Et on sait, et nos cousins aux États-Unis savent aussi, que c'est le cas que nous avons besoin et nous sommes plus forts si nous avons une stratégie nationale et unifiée. Alors, nos députés ont convoqué, demandé un débat d'urgence pour débattre notre réponse et la réponse aux variants et assurer que nous faisons tout ce qui est possible, tout ce qui est nécessaire pour protéger les gens au Canada. Et avec ça, je prends les questions. With that, I'll take questions.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Paul. We will now begin with questions. One question, one follow-up. Nous allons commencer avec les questions du média. Une question, un suivi. Please use the raised hand feature if you wish to ask a question. Veuillez utiliser la fonction de lever la main si vous voulez poser une question. And please identify yourself and your organization. Veuillez vous identifier ainsi que votre organisation. So, are there any questions, please? Est-ce qu'il y a des questions, s'il vous plaît? No questions this time. Pas de questions à ce moment. Thank you, Ms. Paul. This will conclude the press conference. Ceci conclut la conférence de presse. Merci à tout le monde. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Merci. Thank you.